In the peaceful and prosperous kingdom called Ashari, two twin girls were born on a quiet Saturday night into the family of Bano and Miriam, respected merchants in the village. The twins, Naya and Zira, were beautiful, but from young age, a striking difference in their physical appearance became evident. While Zira was strong and curvy, Naya was thin, tall, and fragile looking. Despite being raised with the same love, care, and meals, the twins looked nothing alike. As the girls grew, the villagers began to mock Naya because of her frail frame. Children and even adults called her cruel names like Stick or Breeze, suggesting she was so thin a gust of wind might carry her away. It was common for Naya to overhear whispers in the marketplace. What happened to her? Why is she so thin? Poor thing. She's like a skeleton. Though these words hurt, Naya found some comfort at home. Her parents were loving and kind, always reminding her that beauty comes in many forms. And Zira, her sister, was a source of strength, standing by her and defending her from the cruel jokes of the villagers. But Naya's struggle didn't end at the doorstep of her home. No matter how much love her parents showed or how much Zira reassured her, the isolation she felt in the village weighed heavily on her. Many social groups shunned her, and those who allowed her to join often used every opportunity to humiliate her. Her only escape was cooking. Naya had an extraordinary gift in the kitchen. She could take the simplest ingredients and turn them into meals that left everybody speechless. From her parents to the neighbors who tasted her dishes. It was in these quiet moments when her family complimented her cooking that she felt appreciated. However, the teasing continued every time she and Zira went to the village market. One day, as the two twins were shopping for food, a loud voice rang out, "Zira, you must be eating Naya's share of the food. Look how thin she is." The market erupted in laughter, but Zira wasn't having it. She turned to the group of villagers and with fire in her eyes defended her sister. "Shame on you all! Mocking someone for their appearance? You should be embarrassed." Zira's sharp words silenced the crowd, and for a while these seemed calmer. But when Zira's life took a turn for the worse, everything changed. Zira had been in a relationship with Jaro, the son of a wealthy farmer. They were deeply in love, and everyone believed they would soon marry. But one day, Jaro came to visit Zira with devastating news. His family had decided to end their relationship because they feared that Naya's thinness might somehow affect Zira's future children. "You are perfect, Zira, but my family won't approve," he said, his voice heavy with regret. Zira's heart chattered. She had always been the confident, admired twin, but now, because of her sister's appearance, her dreams of marriage and happiness had been taken from her. Overcome with grief and resentment, Zira began to see Naya not as her beloved sister, but as a source of her pain. Slowly, Zira, once unwavering loyalty, turned to bitterness. The first sign of Zira's change came one evening when Naya had prepared a delicious meal for the family. As she often did, Zira stormed into the kitchen and without warning poured sand into the pot. Naya, shocked and hurt, asked her sister why she did such a thing. But Zira's response was cold. "Keep your mouth shut, you skinny witch." The tension between the twins only grew. Zira began to take every opportunity to humiliate Naya. One day, after Naya had left a bucket of water for her bath. Zira poured something into it. When Naya bathed, her skin itched terribly, and she realized Zira had tampered with the water. These petty acts of cruelty piled up, and the villagers soon noticed Zira's change in behavior. The same sister who had once fiercely defended Naya now mocked her openly, calling her names in the marketplace just like everyone else. Their parents were heartbroken. They scolded Zira, reminding her that Naya was her twin, her own flesh and blood. But Zira refused to listen. "She is the reason Jaro left me," Zira would cry. The household became a place of constant tension. But life in the village continued, and soon preparations began for a grand event, the Queen Maiden competition. This contest, held every decade, brought together the most beautiful, talented, and capable young women from 3 neighboring kingdoms, Ashari, Morea, and Bolo. Each kingdom would send 3 maidens to compete in various challenges, and the winner would be crowned Queen Maiden, a title that brought honor, wealth, and great esteem to her family. In Ashari, the villagers excitedly discussed which maidens would represent their kingdom. People laughed at the mere suggestion of Naya participating. "Who would send a skeleton to represent us?" they joked. But fate had other plans. One day, as Naya was fetching water in the village stream, she met a man named Amani, one of the organizers of the Queen's Maiden competition. Amani was immediately struck by Naya's unique appearance. "What grace! What elegance!" he exclaimed, much to Naya's surprise. She had spent her entire life being ridiculed for her looks, and now someone was praising her. Amani explained that he was in Ashari to observe the maidens who would compete, and he was certain Naya would do well in the contest. Naya laughed, dismissing the idea, but Amani urged her to attend the competition, even if just to watch. On the day of the competition, Naya, dressed in a simple yet elegant outfit, attended the event with her family. To everyone's shock, the host king announced an additional contestant, Naya herself, chosen by a special entry. The crowd murmured in disbelief, and Zira turned with jealousy, but there was no turning back. Naya had been chosen. The competition began with a cooking challenge. Naya's culinary skills, honed with years of practice, set her apart. She easily won the first round, impressing the judges with her delicious dish. The second stage involved a treasure hunt, where the maidens had to swim across a river and find a hidden treasure in the forest, while the other maidens struggled with the swim. Naya's light frame allowed her to glide effortlessly across the water. She was the first to reach the forest and began searching for the treasure. At one point, Naya thought she had found it, a bright shiny object hidden in the bush, but something in her intuition told her it wasn't the real treasure. She continued in her search while the other maidens grabbed the fake treasure and rushed back. Soon, Naya's persistence paid off. High in a tree, she spotted a golden box. Using her tall, agile frame, she climbed up, retrieved the box, and returned to the palace. When the judges unveiled the true treasure, it was Naya that had found it. She was crowned Queen Maiden of the 3 kingdoms. The villagers, stunned by her victory, began showering her with praise and admiration. But the most important reconciliation came when Naya returned home. Zira, filled with guilt for how she had treated her sister, broke down in tears. "I am sorry," she cried. "I let my pain blind me. I hurt you when I should have stood by you." Naya, with the grace and kindness she had always carried, forgave her sister We came into this world together, Zira. I will always love you, no matter what. The sisters embraced. Peace was restored to their family. From that day forward, Naya's victory wasn't just celebrated for the crown she won, but for the strength she showed in the face of rejection and mockery. And the village, having learned a lesson in humility, treated her with the respect she had always deserved. The moral of the story is simple. Beauty comes in many forms, and the true strength lies in embracing who we are, regardless of what others may think.